Hello everyone, my name is Necrosen, and in front of me, well, behind me now, is my design for an auto crafter using the new crafter block. Now this design is super cool for a number of reasons, one being that it's super compact, but also you don't actually even need to put your items in the correct order. That's how cool this machine is, and I'll show you exactly how it works. So, the first thing you need to do is prime the crafter, and by prime I mean you have to put in 2 of the item that you want to craft. So here I'm making a quick piston, just like that. So there's 2 in here, and then you just need to put in each of these chests the ingredients for the item. In this case, 3 of the chests need to have birch planks, 4 of the chests need to have cobblestone, 1 chest needs iron nuggets, and 1 chest needs redstone dust. But again, it doesn't even matter what order it is. Once you put it in the chest, it'll immediately start filling these droppers, and you're good to go. All you have to do is flick this lever, and we can see in here, we'll actually craft these pistons, and it'll get filled up. Now, the more astute among you will probably realize right away why it doesn't matter what order you put the items in. They're just getting thrown into this hopper anyway in any old order. But because we've primed the crafter in this way, the items will automatically filter into their correct spots. And we've given ourselves enough delay here so that an item with a crafting recipe of 9 items will get crafted pretty much as soon as it finishes getting filled by the crafter. So I have the timing here set up for a crafting recipe that requires 9 items, and obviously that means that the timing is longer than what you would need for, let's say, 6 items or 4 items or even 2 items. But you can actually adjust this for the number of items in the recipe that you want to craft, and it's very simple. All you have to remember is you need the same number of repeaters as items that you're going to craft. So if, for example, I had a crafting recipe with 4 items, like, let's say I was making honey from bottles. I would have a section of 4 of these, so 1, 2, 3, 4, let's say, and you have to make sure that this one is set to 3, that the timing works, and you should be good to go. Now, it's not a bad thing if this is set to 4, for example, because that just means it'll take a little bit longer, but it will ensure that your crafter is getting filled up for each item. But if you have too little delay, then all of the items in your crafter are going to get crafted and you won't have a template anymore for the flowing items to conform to. So on that note, if you do find that your crafter is occasionally getting messed up, like it's crafting too quickly and the template goes away, all you have to do is add another repeater or lengthen the delay on the repeaters you've got, and that should fix it quite nicely. Now, I should warn you, it's not actually 100% safe to turn off because, like, if you start it and then you turn it off and it's like in this cycle, you can see that the observer will tick twice in much less than the time you've got here. So it's not like idiot-proof. You can't flick the lever as much as you want because that will cause both of your recipes to get crafted down here. And look at that, it just gets totally messed up. But if that happens, it's pretty simple. All you have to do is grab your items out of the hopper, then grab them from the crafter, and just remake the recipe. But that's okay, because once you turn it on and you've got it going, you can literally make thousands of items if you have the storage feeding into here. So a couple of extra seconds at the end to fix it, or at the beginning to make sure it's primed, is pretty inconsequential once you've got this thing running. Now, if you do want to be 100% certain that you never mess it up when you turn it off, all you have to do is make sure that the torch is off when you flick this lever. So now it will never get messed up. It's only if you turn it off while the torch is on that you can screw up the timing. And look at that. In the time I spent talking, we already made 128 pistons almost. So that's pretty good. Okay, obviously this doesn't work for non-stackable items. That is the one setback with this design. But I wanted to show this one because it's super compact and cool and all of that. I do have a design that does work for any crafting recipe, and you don't even have to prime it, and there's no risk of it getting messed up or anything like that. But it's a bit bigger, and in my opinion, not as cool of a mechanism. Probably anyone could have figured out this design, but I'll showcase it here anyway. So this is the other design right here. It takes advantage of keeping these hoppers powered so that they won't take an item until this observer is triggered. Now, that being said, it's very important that this repeater right here is set to exactly 3 ticks so that these torches turn off for the exact amount of time that these hoppers need to both take one item and push it to the hopper adjacent to them. This idea is so spread out because you may have seen in other YouTuber videos, or if you've tried to play with it yourself, that the hopper update order is pretty unpredictable. So if you just have hoppers in a line with chests like all right next to each other without this one wide separation of hoppers, you pretty much end up with a random order of items in your crafter, which is really not what you want. And because this idea is so spread out, it does take a little bit more time for each craft, which is the, another drawback from the other design. But it's just important to remember that now you need to do 6 ticks per item in the recipe. So in this case, if I want to do 9 items, like let's say I'm going to put together a dispenser, which was a lot of the hype for this update, I need to have repeaters here that add up to 54 redstone ticks. So I've got 13 set to 4, which is 52, and then I have a 1 tick repeater here and 1 additional tick from the torch. So now all I need to do is put items in these chests, and this time they do need to be in order from left to right, top to bottom. I could do it like so, and turn the machine on. Behold, base dispensers. Pretty much as soon as the recipe finishes too. So yeah, those are my ideas for using the crafter. Let me know in the comments if you have any other ideas or know of something I could have done to make them better. And do use these designs to make better ones, because there's a ton of potential with this block, and I know I've only just barely begun to scratch the surface of the surface with this one. Anyway, I will see you all next time, and don't forget to like and subscribe.